of anxiety, where to go.
Right.
So I'm glad they addressed that as well. I want to get into that innermost portion of the home and away from those windows.
Those interior stairwells, and maybe grab the kid's bike helmet too on the way in, and your shoes. Everyone forgets their shoes.
Because of the aftermath.
Absolutely, and stepping on broken glass and nails and all of that fun stuff.
All right, well, we've got our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, who is all too familiar with the steps needed to protect yourself, and we've got more of those dangerous storms flaring up tonight.
Yeah, indeed we do. And just to follow up on your conversation there, a lot of people have walk-in basements that are not shielded by soil along all the walls. So when you're in those walk-in basements, it's not good enough just to be in there. You're best to be in some kind of a closet if you have one in one of those walk-in basements, or if none of those, at least get behind or under some heavy furniture, so that if the glass windows or the one side that's open blows in, that you're protected. Now, we do have some of the storms ongoing at the moment. Tornado warnings in the eastern part of the Texas Panhandle, western Oklahoma now. We've had 8 at least tornado reports today. A number of those have been up in the Texas Panhandle area. We had some also down along the coastal Texas. No tornado warnings there at the moment. But a storm that has produced some pretty strong winds around the Kellerville area. That is now heading off toward the Wheeler area. We've seen some 3-inch diameter hail as well by some of these storms in the Texas Panhandle. And very recently have now seen some pretty strong rotation in this storm spinning its way. You can almost see the spin, can't you, down in this part of the storm there, just to the south of that little hook. And so that's coming to an area close to I-80, to Highway 83, that will be south of Wheeler. Wheeler County, you're under a severe thunderstorm, under a tornado warning, I should say, and that following ahead, projecting ahead, that rotating part of the storm, going near and just south of Wheeler at about 7:24, coming to the Sweetwater area of Oklahoma about 8:10, and then perhaps continuing along farther east. The farther east these storms go tonight, they're getting into a little bit drier air and farther away from the dry line, so they may lose some of their forcing, and especially as night cools in. But this storm has really begun to sort of spin itself out. It has little arms now. This is probably rear flank downdraft cooled air that has come in. The warm air that is coming in is likely pushing its way in right around in here, so it is not quite the well-defined supercell that we saw 20 minutes ago. That said, still inside this complex storm, we have some greens and some reds indicating some pretty strong counterclockwise rotation there. Let's see if there's any debris showing up in that. The debris, a couple of specks of debris right there. Let's see where that is in relation to the storm. It's possible we could have some widespread wind damage or even a tornado located in there, along with hail that at times here has been reported to be up to 2 inches in diameter. And in this location here, we had some wind gusts estimated 65 miles per hour. So wind, certainly, that is driving its way east, possibly tornadoes, possibly rain and hail wrapped tornadoes near that Wheeler Sweetwater area that I've been mentioning a moment ago. I also took a slice from west to east through that storm, and because of the winds aloft, it leans forward. The inflow comes in like this, and then gets pushed forward into the anvil of the storm, and the hail falls out the backside of this tilted anvil. So we're continuing to watch that storm. Then there's a tornado warning for a storm that's come out of the Texas Panhandle now into Roger Mills County in Oklahoma and heading up toward the Crawford, the Roll, the Leedy, and the Camargo areas. Heavy rain along I-10 just east of the Houston area. Flooding can be a deadly situation also. Turn around, don't drown. Let's go back now to Julie and Alex.
All right, thank you, Dr. Forbes. And it's not just tonight we're going to have to worry about, but we're looking ahead to tomorrow as well for severe weather.
Yeah, that's right. One of those things that we'll be following very closely. There's that map for tomorrow. A lot of areas dealing with the thunderstorms. You see the areas in the orange that extends all the way into the even southeast, mid-Atlantic, southern New England. But the focus on the severe threat, that is the red shaded area there from the plains working down through Texas. You can see Torcon values now. This is the chance of dealing with a tornado. We've got 3s there for you in parts of Oklahoma, spreading towards northeast Colorado and southwest Nebraska. So 30% chance of a tornado within a 50-mile radius there.
Yeah, and some major cities included in this severe outlook. We're looking at Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Oklahoma City. So huge populated areas all in line for potentially tornadoes and very strong storms.
And there are those Torcon values again for Saturday now. South central Kansas, north central Oklahoma. 3 out of 10 there are showing up there for you. So again, we're right in that 30% chance of a tornado within a 50-mile radius. And into Sunday, Julie, the threat starts to move a little bit east.
Yeah, really all the way into the Carolinas for those thunderstorms. And we're looking at the Midwest coming into play now. St. Louis, Paducah, Kentucky, Little Rock, all in line for strong storms.
Back with more extended coverage next.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, skies clearing overnight. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 73. Friday, thunderstorms. High 89. Chance of rain 90%. Friday night, scattered showers or thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The 306 horsepower Lexus GS. Experience the next level of performance, and there's no going back. Lease the 2015 GS 350F Sport with complimentary navigation system for these terms. See your Lexus dealer.
Your relationship with your dog is pure. It's innocent. It's work, but it's perfect. You wouldn't trade it for the world. So protect your dog with Trifexis. Trifexis is the monthly beef-flavored tablet that prevents heartworm disease, kills fleas, and prevents infestations, and treats and controls hook, round, and whipworm infections. Treatment with fewer than 3 monthly doses after exposure to mosquitoes may not provide complete heartworm prevention. The most common adverse reactions were vomiting, depression, and itching. Serious adverse reactions have been reported following concurrent extra-label use of ivermectin with spinosad, one of the components of Trifexis. Prior to administration, dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection. You'll take it all, the good and the bad, because that's what makes your relationship irreplaceable. Protect your dog all year long with the 3-in-1 power of Trifexis, available by prescription only. Talk to your veterinarian about how to protect every second you share together.
Hey neighbor, get rid of unwelcome grass and weeds with expert advice and the right products at your neighborhood Ace, like Roundup Weed and Grass Killer, only $13.99 after $4 instant savings. Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up?
Yep.
We could rule the world. But I've got carpool at 3, though, so
that time.
we could, mess with...
Strong. It comes from a place where raw strength is just a starting point. Where doing something means doing it right. Where unrivaled dependability is backed by the strongest warranty in the business. And the only job is a job well done. Welcome to Strongsville. Experience Cub Cadet Strong with the new XT Enduro Series. Find exceptional financing and a dealer near you.
It's the most expensive real estate in $1 million listing history. Yes! Life's changing for New York's top realtors.
So we're gonna have a baby.
I'd like to shut down Times Square.
But life doesn't negotiate.
No high kicks, no weed, get it done.
$1 million listing New York, all new every Wednesday at 10, 9 Central. Only by Bravo.
Did you know that more than 1,300 smokers die each day, and that 9 out of 10 smokers start in their teens? Learn more at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Ow.
You're watching the Weather Channel.
Well, here's a look at the backside of the storms as they continue to push east out of Navarro County. That is in Texas, just southeast of the Dallas area. What you're looking at there are mammatus clouds. And yeah, it's one of those phenomena that they look scary, look ominous, but harmless, as basically they generally form after the storm moves on by. But a beautiful sight. You get a chance to see Mamata's clouds.
Yeah.
Please snap
Just
those
like
pictures and
cotton
send
balls.
them. Yeah,
absolutely. And we're continuing to bring you extended live coverage now of the developing situation in Texas and in the Southern Plains. Severe weather, very active tonight. In fact, we already have 2 active tornado warnings in place, one in Oklahoma, one in Texas right now. And we're going to take you out now to live radar to get you filled in on what we're dealing with. Not only the severe weather, but also the threat of flooding in and around the Houston area along I-10 out toward Lake Charles, where we have flash flood warnings. Huntsville certainly in line for that up I-45. Take a look at this. Polk, San Jacinto, and Walker counties. This goes until 9:15 for you. Heavy rain being reported in the area, and you can clearly see it there on the radar. We also have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings in place and certainly tornado warnings. This flash flood warning in Hardin and Tyler County as we head off to the east goes until 10 o'clock for Sour Lake, Warren, and Woodville. So flooding is going to remain an issue as we have this very unsettled weather pattern. It's continuing to just drag across the southeast. You'll notice that line there all the way into Birmingham and now getting on the doorsteps of Atlanta as well, where we're looking at the potential for storms and heavy rain. So Birmingham, mostly just light showers for you right now, but some heavy rain off to your west in Tuscaloosa and Columbus, Missouri. All of this coming your way in the next few hours. In Atlanta, the same goes for you. We'll notice a heavy pocket of rain right now approaching the northwestern suburbs. Marietta, Smyrna, Vinings, all in line for pretty heavy rain right now. No severe weather associated with this, though, but you'll notice we're just getting deluged here over and over again in the south. And it's really a concern when you take a look at the cumulative amount of rain that we're getting here over several days.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to want to let up out there. Well, let's talk about what we've been dealing with in Texas again, because we've got some pictures coming in from the Northgate area in Texas. Reporter Ian Smith with local station KAGS tweeting this out, and it was wind actually in the area to blame for some of this damage. You can see that they're showing up, Julie. The good news here, no injuries reported. It's apparently the roof of an apartment building.
Yeah, it kind of looks like pieces of insulation mixed in there with the sheetrock.
Yeah, here's another angle they're showing you, and again, you can see the folks are out sort of looking about at what has happened there, and yeah, that's what happens. You get some of those storms that flare up, and they can produce some of those strong winds. And on the phone right now, we've got Battalion Chief Thomas Gale with the College Station, Texas Fire Department, and we certainly appreciate you joining us, Thomas. Can you give us an update on what we were seeing there in the area with some of those damage pictures?
Sure. Around 17:35 this afternoon, dispatched several fire units to the 2nd Street apartments. The report was collapsed ceiling. There was no damage actually to the structure, and there was no injuries, but it looked like the wind had come through and it lifted the ceiling up, the drop ceiling, and blew the tiles and the insulation pretty much all over the parking lot. And then also in that area, it blew down trees and knocked some power lines, and the damage actually extended about a quarter of a mile north of that. It was just a straight line from that apartment complex.
So it could have been some straight line winds. What about the rain, localized flooding there along with that?
Yes, we've had several reports of some minor flooding. Also, there was heavier flooding reported in the county, but our city responded to numerous major accidents throughout the city during that same time.
Now, with those accidents, were there any reported injuries?
No, just minor injuries. Cars slid off the road, but fortunately, no injuries have been reported.
And the scene now there in your area, it looks like you are still getting rainfall on top of rainfall. So are you concerned about flooding for the future?
Yes, we are. We have everybody, as far as our rescue teams, on standby, and we're ready if any more severe weather comes through. But right now, the number of calls have dropped significantly, and it's fairly quiet at this time.
That's good to hear. Now, any words of advice for folks as we head through the rest of tonight? And again, the threat for more storms as we head on into the weekend.
Correct. Just stay indoors, and just like we've been told many times, stop, turn around, don't try to drive through any flooding that's on the streets.
All right, Chief, thank you so much, and some incredible pictures there. We're glad that no one was hurt. We want to take you now in and around Wheeler, Texas. We have live pictures coming in now from that area, which has been certainly in the crosshairs throughout the evening tonight. Active tornado warnings surrounding Wheeler, Texas, and there you see the ominous looking scene. Look at that, Alex.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're talking some pretty heavy downpours showing up again. This southwest Wheeler, where a storm chaser Reed Timmer is trying to get his way towards the storm. And again, it's very tough to see heavy downpours. You can see some flashes of lightning. This is an area where we've been dealing with tornado warned storms. Back in just a bit, tracking more of the storms next.
You're watching the Weather Channel.
Zantac heartburn alert. Stop. Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. The seal you can trust, with stain and sealer in one, and easy to choose colors. Exceptional beauty and protection have never been easier. Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. Available at the Home Depot.
To you, they're more than just a pet, so protect them with K9 Advantix 2. Its broad spectrum protection kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, too. K9 Advantix 2, for the love of dog.
HBO Now available on your favorite Apple devices. Go to hbonow.com to start your 1-month free trial today.
We could tell you about the years of research and development. How we forged advanced high-strength steel to make the frame stronger yet lighter. The countless hours spent testing the suspension and tuning every sound from the engine to the trunk. But until you get behind the wheel, you have no idea. The completely redesigned Hyundai Sonata.
You want me to pick just one? Yeah, right. I say if it looks tasty, order it. Because at Red Lobster's Create Your Own Seafood Trio, I can have it all. Choose 3 of 9 dishes for just $15.99. Like the creamy baked lobster Alfredo, and the sizzling brown butter shrimp scampi, and fresh soy ginger salmon topped with sweet pineapple salsa? I could go on, but there are 3 things on one plate waiting for me, and I'd rather just go, wouldn't you? But hurry, it can't last forever.
We come by almost every day to deliver your mail.
So if you have any packages you want to return, you should just give them to us.
Since we're going to be here anyway, it's kind of a no-brainer.
I'm here to test myself.
This is really pushing my limits.
I'll see you on the other side.
It's the moment of truth right here.
Naked and Afraid, Discovery's groundbreaking hit returns. Check your local listings.
Morning's got you a little... Grab the good energy of Quaker Oats, one of nature's most perfect energy sources. It's how we help keep go-getters like you going and getting, one bite at a time. Quaker Up.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, pop. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, pop. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, pop. We're gonna pop around the clock tonight.
Pop in new Tide Pods Plus Febreze, a 4-in-1 detergent now with 24-hour freshness.
You're watching the Weather Channel.
Welcome back. Our extended coverage of the storms flaring up across parts of Texas continues. Here we are looking live now. This is near Wheeler, where there is a tornado-warned storm that is in place. That's for Wheeler County until 7:45 local time. Tough to see what's going on here. It looks like it's either frozen there, but there's no doubt about it. Some heavy rain showing up there for us with that tornado-warned storm.
Reed Timmer pretty much in the thick of it, and we were looking at radar. Reed is just southwest of Wheeler, and if you look at the radar, it looks like he is just right in that area of almost rotation. So we're hoping that's not the case, but I'm sure he's being careful out there. But we have that tornado warning in Wheeler going for about another 15 minutes or so. We've already had reports of tornadoes in this area throughout the evening.
Yeah, that's right. And several funnel clouds reported as well and spotted. So yeah, dangerous storms rumbling on by. We've seen a few of them even cross the state line into Oklahoma as well. And we're going to continue to watch those also.
Let's get to Dr. Greg Forbes now. He is carefully studying every move the radar is making here. Dr. Forbes, over to you.
I sure am, Julie. And the most recent observation, I've been looking at the National Weather Service chat that tells us what the spotters are reporting, has been golf ball size hail with that storm near Wheeler. So we are watching storms here all the way up to north of Wichita, Kansas, over into southeast Colorado, but especially that storm that's on the storms that are all along the Texas-Oklahoma Panhandle area, and additional storms down in central parts of Texas, and heavy rain now down into southeast Texas. So I'll start with a radar tour here up into the East Texas Panhandle area. We have just to the south of Wheeler now. You can see this storm spinning its way right across Highway 83 now. Still a tornado warning for Wheeler County, although it does look as if maybe the storm is gusting itself out just a little bit. But on that south side of that strong rotation, there could be 65-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And at times you see that purple or lavender core in there. That's where that golf ball size hail is residing. So given that broad spin that you see, there still could be a tornado that would be coming, getting closer to the Kelton area the next 10 minutes or so. Sweetwater, Oklahoma, crossing the state line there, probably about 8:15. Rose Hill about 8:35, if that rotation holds together. Some signs, as I indicate, that it may be weakening a little bit. It definitely has kicked out a gust front here, and very strong winds surging forward in this location. The broad rotating inflow coming in like this, and so there is broad rotation that is spiraling around inside that hail. We'll take a look here a little bit in the storm velocities, see what they're showing. Mostly now, I'll erase some of this, mostly they're showing pretty strong, in a storm relative sense at least, inflow from the southeast and the northeast, and then some reds in here that are surging forward in that rear flank downdraft area. So broad rotation now, the rotation kind of in here, not nearly as concentrated as it had been at times. So we're looking like the likelihood of tornadoes is diminishing. Still, though, a big area now of golf ball size hail or larger around the Wheeler area. That wasn't supposed to be in there. We'll go to this one, and this one is supposed to be in there. We've lost the tornado warning now that was up for the Roger Mills County area. Now severe thunderstorm warning in that area, just along Highway 283 there, north of the Cheyenne region. Taking a look then, if we were to get some new rotation on that, or where the rotation had been headed, it had been headed toward the roll in the Leedy areas, but seems now that that is weakened just a bit. Going up into Kansas, I mentioned Wichita, up near I-35 now, I-135 now. We have a storm that is severe warned up in Harvey County. And you can also see this green line. That's a gust front coming, a rain-cooled air coming away from some of the cluster of storms that have been farther to the west. So you're about to get a wind shift from southeast to northwest in all likelihood coming into the Wichita area. Another one of those gust fronts coming across southwestbound toward Abilene, while storms are rolling east and northeast in the areas just west of the Abilene area, Jones and Taylor and a number of counties with damaging winds and probably 1 inch or larger hail here. Interesting storm configuration. Can you see that comma shape to it? Almost like the comma, the punctuation mark. Little mini rotating head on that. So strong winds coming toward Graham, Texas, right now in Shackelford and Throckmorton counties. I think before it gets to the Graham area. A lot of clear area then as we go south from there into San Antonio, but thunderstorms rolling their way across I-10 toward the New Ulm area, but they really are mulling around. Earlier we've had very heavy rain east of College Station there in the Huntsville area of Texas, flooding Sam Houston State University parking lot, and the gymnasium building has some flooding in that. And taking a look there, we have some estimates of about 3.5 inches of rain have fallen in some of that area. and even more, it is really slowing down. The rain accumulating, almost stalled out over the area I-10 near Baytown, east of Houston, up toward Liberty and Winnie. And radar estimates here maybe 6.4 inches. There may be some hail contamination to that, but you're very likely along I-10, Highway 90, anywhere from west of Beaumont, south to Winnie, over to Baytown and the far east suburb ways there with these storms mulling around, and it's getting worse. And speaking of mulling around storms, in the satellite imagery, it shows the big culprit for this spinning upper low over the four-state area here, and it's that leading edge of that where you begin to get the cold air aloft, intersecting some of the Gulf of Mexico moisture that's getting increasingly moist and coming in from the south and east. So they overlap in that area from Kansas and then down along the dry line into West Texas. Farther south in Texas, we have a high-altitude jet stream we call the subtropical jet, interacting with a richer moist flow from the south and east. So we had some tornadoes down in there today. We'll continue tonight to have severe thunderstorms in many of these areas, along with in South Texas an increasing heavy rain threat. And tomorrow the situation doesn't change a whole lot, except we probably add a little bit more of northeast Colorado, southern Nebraska, and then all the way down again to the Gulf Coast. And parts of that area, especially the northwest part, will have a chance again of tornadoes like we've had today. Julie, Alex?
Thank you so much, Dr. Forbes.
All right, we got some new pictures coming into us from College Station, Texas. This was posted to Twitter earlier tonight by Ian Smith, a reporter with local station KAGS. You can see some of those dark clouds showing up there in the background. This is actually an area that was dealing with some strong storms and heavy downpours a little bit earlier today. We talked with actually one of the chief battalion chief in College Station with the fire department, and he was talking about some of the damage photos showing up there. It looks like a little bit of a roof damage showing up there. Parking garages underneath an apartment building, and that's what actually happened there. The winds rolled through the parking garage, and that kicked up some of the
He said there were some
areas.
flooding issues there as well, and we're also hearing about flooding issues at Sam Houston State University, so we'll try to get you some pictures of that as well. Well, when damage from a severe storm occurs, the National Weather Service will determine whether or not a tornado was to blame. So if it was a tornado, they will assign it a rating on the EF scale. Meteorologist Mark Elliott has more on how those ratings are determined.
In order to give a tornado its EF scale rating, we don't actually measure the winds inside it. Instead, we look at the damage afterwards. For an EF0, there's not too much damage at all, maybe a couple of shingles getting blown off. By EF1, far more shingles coming off the roof, and we might start to see a piece of the roof coming down. By EF2, much bigger problems. Entire pieces of the roof can get sheared off, while the entire house could actually get shifted on the foundation. EF3 comes around and we start to see wall problems. The walls, the exterior walls can start to tip inward. By EF4, even those interior walls can start to collapse. That's when the small rooms that we tell you to hide in might not even save you. And by EF5, the entire house can get blown off the foundation, nothing left but a slab.
All right, and we continue to follow storms. Here we are looking live now. This is in Wheeler, Texas, where, boy, the rain was certainly coming down. It's tough to see if it's getting sort of stopping and freezing here near that picture there. But Wheeler, Texas, an area that has certainly been under the gun with these storms here late this afternoon.
Kind of looks like it's flooding. This is coming in from Reed Timmer, but we'll have to talk to Reed and find out for sure. Nonetheless, some strong storms pushing through.
You're watching the Weather Channel.
You can't always be there to protect her down the road. Make sure the tires she's riding on will. With the revolutionary Michelin Premier Tire, even as it wears down over time, its safety doesn't, thanks to Evergrip technology. The Michelin Premier Tire, safe when new, safe when worn.
True Green presents The Yardleys.
Hello?
You did?
You really? Ding dong. Oh, the pizza's here. Hey, come on in. Right. Whoa! Lose the sneakers, pal. Kind of a thing.
This is more than a lawn. This is a True Green lawn.
Sorry.
Live life outside with True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today.
Bye now.
True Green. Live life outside.
The Fiat 500 isn't alone anymore. It's part of a big Italian family.
If you're an adult with type 2 diabetes and your A1C is not at goal with certain diabetes pills or daily insulin, your doctor may be talking about adding medication to help lower your A1C. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Once-a-week Tanzium is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, along with diet and exercise. Once-a-week Tanzium works by helping your body release its own natural insulin when it's needed. Tanzium is not recommended as the first medicine to treat diabetes or in people with severe stomach or intestinal problems. Tanzium is not insulin. It is not used to treat type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis and has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Do not take Tanzium if you or your family have a history of medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Tanzium or any of its ingredients. Stop using Tanzium and call your doctor right away if you experience symptoms of an allergic reaction, which may include itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. If you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe stomach pain that will not go away and may move to your back, with or without vomiting. Or if you have symptoms of thyroid cancer, which include a lump or swelling in your neck, hoarseness, trouble swallowing, or shortness of breath. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medicines you're taking. And if you're nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Taking Tanzium with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects with Tanzium include diarrhea, nausea, injection site reactions, cough, back pain, and cold or flu symptoms. Some serious side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney failure. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Go to Tanzium.com to learn if you may be eligible to receive Tanzium free for 12 months. Make every week a Tanzium week.
No one plans for a broken pipe or overflowing toilet to cause a flood in their home. But when the unexpected happens, don't panic. ServiceMaster Restore will respond to you anytime, day or night. No matter the cause of your emergency, we offer complete services to homes and businesses that help put things back together with ease. And with a nationwide network of local specialists, we can help with issues from water, fire, mold, natural catastrophes, and more. ServiceMaster Restore, the complete customer experience. Call or visit us online to learn more.
You're watching the Weather Channel.
Well, this is footage of a landspout in Perryton, Texas. That's in the panhandle there near the Oklahoma border. You can see spinning and kicking and churning up some of the dust and dirt there for you. But yeah, eventually, pretty quickly actually, dissipates there over the field.
We like to see that.
Yeah, exactly. We hope tornadoes would do the same thing as well.
If only they would all be in open fields and dissipate, but that's not the case. And unfortunately, we have a very active night in terms of severe weather. We're continuing to bring you live coverage of the severe weather outbreak in Texas and in the Southern Plains. So we do want to get an update now. I believe we're going to take Reed Timmer's live picture. He has been in the thick of it throughout the evening near Wheeler, Texas. And there you see some very heavy rain, it looks like, in the area. I think his shot freezes here and there, but nonetheless, he has been in a tornado warned area now for quite some time. We have just seen that warning drop off in Wheeler, Texas. Actually, all of the tornado warnings have now dropped off in Texas and Oklahoma, but we still have several severe thunderstorm warnings in place and a tornado watch.
Yeah, that's the key there. So still the threat for some damaging winds, the hail threat there for us as well in and around Wheeler. Meanwhile, we head southbound. This is again still in Texas. There's Houston sort of at the top of the screen to the south and the west, just south of the Wharton area. We've got Matagorda and Wharton counties until about 8:15 dealing with that severe thunderstorm warning. So again, we've got numerous storms there across the Lone Star State dealing with these severe warnings.
Yeah, Texas really just peppered with those yellow boxes right now. So we're going to keep you up to speed on all of that.
Well, we got an update also from Sam Houston University. Actually, let's get back to the radar because there's a new warning out. This time now we're moving into Kansas. So we're now moving up into the state of Kansas here, the western part, dealing with it in Hamilton County. Tornado warned storm there for that until 7:15 local time. Again, that is Hamilton County in western portions of Kansas. Not too far from the state line with Colorado. And you can see there you're dealing with the snow in the Rockies, but you head east a bit, and that's where you get into the severe storm threat. And again, right now there's for that particular storm, Hamilton County until 7:15, south of Tribune and just north of Syracuse. Now's the time where you want to make sure you're seeking shelter, innermost portion of your home, away from the windows there, as a potential storm that could be potentially bringing you a tornado as it's moving generally from south to north. So Tribune could be in line to deal with this storm before long.
Yeah, it looks like it's moving northeast at around 15. A tornado indicated on radar, and also some quarter-sized hail. So dangerous situation there. If you are in the area, a tornado warning, you do want to get to shelter immediately.
All right, well, let's get you now to that update from Sam Houston State University. Again, that's in the Huntsville area in Texas, just north of Houston. The university experiencing some flooding on campus. Actually, a few roads and intersections covered in high water, and the officials are asking some of the students and residents to avoid some of the areas by the stadium, right around Bearcat Boulevard, and to take caution and don't enter any flooded roadways. You just never know how deep that water is.
Yeah, the issue that these same areas keep getting hit over and over, and it looks like that rain there in Texas is starting to slow down a bit, as Dr. Forbes was mentioned, and so we could see an even bigger problem throughout the evening.
All right, back to the Panhandle here for us in Texas, and again, this is near Wheeler. Reed Timmer, storm chaser, out there tracking some of these storms. He's been in the thick of things. Again, right now, Wheeler under a severe thunderstorm warning until 8 o'clock there for you, and again, that storm continues to slowly work its way on off towards the east.
All right, we want to get to some more active radar in terms of the flash flooding potentials as well. Certainly a major issue there in the Huntsville area, where we have already had reported flooding in College Station earlier today. Off to the west right now for Grimes, Madison, and Walker counties. This goes until 9 o'clock for you. This system, in particular, this portion of the storm system, appears to be slowing down some, and that's bad news, because once these storms start training, if they do, we are looking at major flooding issues here. A severe thunderstorm warning in place also for Harrison County. This until 8:15, including the city of Marshall, Nesbitt, and Harrelton. You are also in line. Strong winds and damaging hail, the primary threats here for you. And we have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings all across this region. In fact, in Texas and throughout, not to mention all of those flash flood watches and warnings. And then we have the tornado watches in place as well in places like Texas for most of the evening. Taking a closer look now at this particular photo we have coming in from Texas. This is flooding at the Park Hudson Trail in Bryan. This comes from Ian Smith. He's with KAGS, and you can see there that park sign barely sticking up out of the water there. So yeah, this is just one example of many, I'm sure, throughout the area.
Man, that's the problem, as you mentioned, Julie. These showers and storms running over the same areas and very slow to move, and they're dumping heavy rain at that, and that can lead to scenes like you just saw there. Well, we'll be back more with our extended coverage here, of course, tracking more of these storms. Again, there's a tornado warning there in Hamilton County. We've got our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, to give you the update next.
Lennox makes the quietest system you can find. So even though it's the most powerful force in your home, it won't sound like it is.
For more information, contact your local Lennox dealer.
What are you doing?
Athlete's foot. Athlete's foot can be embarrassing. Lotrimin Ultra relieves the itching, burning, and cracking to cure athlete's foot and embarrassment too.
Ooh.
Get Ultra. Lotrimin Ultra.
And it will be one with you. Be one with your tires. And the road will be one with you. Hang up tires.
Hey Mike, it's Lucy from LifeLock. Good news. We just learned your case is closed and your stolen retirement funds are finally being restored.
Lucy, wow. That 401k is 2 years in the mailroom, 10 in customer service, and the last 5 as sales director.
That's some resume.
Try raising teenagers.
You only have one identity. Protect it with the best. LifeLock.
Got some work to do. If you need me, I'll be cleaning the gutters.
Today, the house won't know what hit it. Show the garage who's boss. Check.
Oh.
Put a new shine on the family wheels. Check.
Tame the jungle you call a yard. Check.
Nice work, guys. You earned this back. Oh, who's Jeremy? And he texts a lot.
New mobile plan?
Thank you.
Done. With everything you need for spring at Walmart's low prices you can trust every day. What project will you take on?
I always dreamed of coming here. When my asthma symptoms returned, my doctor prescribed Dulera to help prevent them.
Dulera is for patients 12 and older whose asthma is not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Dulera will not replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms.
A 6-month clinical study has shown Dulera helps significantly improve lung function.
Dulera contains formoterol, which increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Dulera is not for people whose asthma is well controlled with a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Dulera and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Dulera more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor about Dulera.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning. We're all in this together. Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
that was good.
And if you're watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
Mom and Dad told us they had just made their funeral and burial pre-arrangements. We thought they already had taken care of that. When we learned it was through Beth Israel and Eternal Light, we knew everything would be handled in the most caring and professional way. We realized it would be one of the most difficult days of our lives. It inspired my husband and me to make our own pre-arrangements so the burden wouldn't fall on our children when that day comes. It's not an easy thing to think about, but I'm so glad we did.
You want to sell your luxury home, but first you've got to pick the right realtor. One who understands advertising, the kind that really gets your property noticed. I'm Vince Marotta, and we pride ourselves on connecting buyers and sellers through ads across a multimedia approach on TV, billboards, newspapers, magazines, the web, and more. My clients often tell me, Vince, I see your ads everywhere.
Now that's the kind of message that gets results. Your journey begins at MarottaRealty.com.
You're watching the Weather Channel.
Well, welcome back as we continue to follow showers and storms, some severe weather as well across the southern plains, Texas, Gulf coastal areas. We're extending our coverage to follow some of these storms that have been on the dangerous side. Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings in place across the state of Texas, along with some of the areas there in the green, flash flood warnings. That's a threat here for us in the southeastern part of the state now, just east of Houston, Chambers, Harrison, Liberty County, until 8 o'clock, a flash flood warning.
We also have that tornado warning in Kansas right now for, this goes until 7:15, and we are looking at extreme western Kansas there for you. So we're going to keep tracking that one for you as well. All right, we want to talk a little bit about where it is to be safe if you are faced with a tornado.
Yeah, absolutely. One of those things you got to know beforehand. Of course, the preparation is the key. So where is it that you want to be when you're facing a tornado? We got our very own severe weather expert, Dr. Rick Forbes. You can quickly answer that and, of course, get into some of these storms that we're following as well.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Well, the real short answer, innermost portion of a sturdy building. So if you're in a mobile home, that doesn't really count. You'd be best to be heading to your neighbors if you think there is a tornado threat. And once you go down into that lowest innermost portion of your sturdy building, ideally it's a basement, if not some interior room like a closet or a bathroom. That has a lot of wall space compared to the vertical floor space there. And try to get under some heavy furniture. If you have a helmet, put that on. That may protect you from flying and falling debris. We have one tornado warning, sort of a brand new area that we hadn't been focusing on. We had been focusing on the Texas-Oklahoma Panhandle Juncture area. Farther to the northwest now, that is near the surface and upper air low. Pretty strong spin there. We have western parts of Kansas with that tornado warning. Here you see that. It's Hamilton County, well to the west of Dodge City, well to to the south of the Goodland area. And taking a zoom in on that, we have off to the north of Syracuse in Kansas. You can see this storm moving almost due north. You can see it's some spinning, so it's a supercell. And tracking that on, tornado likely to be moving fairly rural areas coming up toward the Tribune area as it continues off to the north. Here's the high definition radar of that. You see a bit of a hook echo on there. And if I take a look at the rotation on this, the rotation on the other hand is pretty strong, northbound, and then red's going southbound. See if we have any kind of debris signature showing up on that. Not at the moment. We do have some clear air blue returned there, but that's down on the south side of the storm. So it's a fairly rural area, but gradually, very slowly, only going about 15 miles per hour up toward the Tribune area. Taking a look down there, we're then farther to the east, still some isolated severe thunderstorm weakening off to the north and east of I-135 there, well to the northeast of the Wichita area. And then down into the Texas Panhandle where we had so many tornado warnings, you can still see the remnants of the tornado warning storm beginning to spin itself out now to the east of Wheeler County now, and many others under severe thunderstorm warnings, including over into parts of Oklahoma with Custer, Ellis, Roger Mills counties under a severe thunderstorm warning. And I meant to take this one out. The tornado threat that was heading that way has diminished. Other clusters of thunderstorms down into Texas, around and just north and west of Abilene. Jones and Taylor counties included spotty damaging winds and perhaps some 1-inch hail. And a little bit ago, I showed you this spiraling comma shape. It has totally weakened now, as I suggested it might before it got to the Graham, Texas area. Off to the east of San Antonio, big clusters of thunderstorms, the strongest one of which down in the Wharton area. It is a supercell thunderstorm, could be big hail. Matagorda, Wharton counties, you have severe thunderstorm warnings on this one. Can't rule out the possibility that it will get a tornado warning. And then farther east, big areas of rain. Huntsville, Texas, you've had flash flooding there at Sam Houston State University. Radar indicates 3.5 inches or so of rain have fallen there, and it's still raining, building its way back into the north suburbs of the Houston area, Chambers, Liberty, and many other counties there with flash flood warnings. And radar estimates that along I-10 there, west of Winnie, east of Baytown, there may have been 6 inches of rain. That may be exaggerated a little bit by hail contamination, but still, this area has a lot of rain that has fallen and continues to fall. So remember the adage, turn around, don't drown. About 60% of flash flood deaths are people who literally drive themselves to death into fast-flowing flood waters and then are swept away. So don't do that, folks. Julie, Alex?
All right,
Such great advice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very deceiving when you're out there. Today's severe weather threat could bring with it some damaging winds, hailstones, even some tornadoes, as we're seeing.
And meteorologist Mike Elliott explains the do's and don'ts when it comes to picking the safest room to hunker down in during a tornado.
When you're under a tornado warning or you hear a tornado siren, and especially if you can see that tornado, now is not the time to grab that smartphone and start filming. Oops. Instead, it's time to get inside and seek shelter. You run inside to seek shelter from the storm and come up to your bedroom, which normally is pretty safe, until of course a tree crashes through your roof. Coming down to a lower level, great idea. Trying to see where the storm is outside those windows, bad idea. It was a good idea to leave the windows, but this exterior wall doesn't help you as much as you might think. No, tree limbs or 2x4s, they're like toothpicks when winds get as fierce as in these storms. Yes, your garage is on ground level and has 4 sides. No, it isn't going to protect you the way you want it to. So this is where you do want to be. Not only a low level, but the lowest level you've got. And you want to put as many walls between you and the storm as possible. And then you stay here until it's safe. Because this room could be the one thing that saves your life.
Some good advice there, and we are continuing now our extended coverage to bring you the severe weather outbreak until 10 o'clock this evening.
Yeah, that's right. We've been following these storms all evening long. Texas seems to be taking the brunt of these storms. Numerous storms that were tornado warned and numerous spottings of tornadoes, as well as funnel clouds out there, particularly in the panhandle of Texas, and some of those have now tried to work their way on into western portions of Oklahoma. We've also seen some of these storms producing some big time hail.
Huge hail.
Huge. We're talking in the order of golf ball size hail out there. Of course, that can lead to some damage, and flooding has also been a story for us across Texas. Particularly, we've seen some stories there in and out of College Station, as well as in and around the Sam Houston area, Houston State University.
Yes, actually, people being advised not to go into that area right now. And this is a continuing story, the flooding that we're going to be dealing with, unfortunately, for some time.
All right, well, we got some brand new video coming into us as well. This is what the severe weather looked like as it was moving its way through Texas this evening. This video posted to Instagram, recorded in Pampa, Texas. Again, one of the areas that has been dealing with some of the storms. You can certainly see the rain coming down quite heavily there, pooling up there in some of that sort of grassy area. It looks like it's starting to get a little bit more on the muddy side there as well. So that's been one of the situations. Again, heavy downpours along with the storms that have brought in some damaging wind gusts as well as even tornadoes.
Yeah, we have a lot of activity right now. We want to get right to Dr. Greg Forbes, our severe weather expert. And Dr. Forbes, it looks like the tornado warning now has shifted into Kansas for Hamilton County.
Yeah, and I'm going to start by showing why this happens, and then we'll come back and do a radar tour. It's all happening because of this big spin in the atmosphere. And by the way, looking at that video, I'm surprised there wasn't some hail floating around in that water there, because there's been up to 3-inch diameter hail up in that Pampa, Texas area. But what you're seeing here is the satellite imagery. It's what we call water vapor imagery, and it's showing this counterclockwise spin affecting several states here. That's the cold pocket aloft. The east side of that is where we're getting some of the cold air, having warm, moist Gulf of Mexico air run into that. So that's putting cold over warm, and that means unstable. Some brand new warning now for Beckham County in Oklahoma, as well as that one in Hamilton County in Kansas. Taking a look here, we have a tornado-warned storm right there just across the Kansas border, and now up in northwest parts of Oklahoma, tornado-warned storm as well. Taking a look at the big picture of things here, we have some severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warnings, a couple of them there in red, and we'll take a bit of a radar tour of those. So let's have a look at these particular storms. We'll start with the one that's had the warning in effect the longest. We're talking western parts of Kansas there. The isolated severe thunderstorm has weakened up in the area north of Wichita. And so we're talking about a tornado warning here for Hamilton County. Many of the storms today have been going eastbound. This one closer to the upper low is going more northbound, just slightly east of north. You can see how it has some hook shape down to the southeast corner of that, and that would be where the tornado would be located. It is moving pretty slowly, so ultimately it'll probably get to area near Tribune, but it's going to take quite some time to do that. Here's the high definition radar. You can see the hook shape there, a little bit of inflow coming in, the rain-cooled air wrapping around. I'll zoom in on this just a little bit if I can find my mouse to do that. There it is. I'll zoom in just a little bit and then take a look at the storm velocities. And there are some pretty strong velocities there. Blue's going northbound, red's going southbound. And so going back to the way we normally see the radar, right inside that little notch that I was pointing at, that's where the tornado vortex signature is located. And that is heading off toward the north and east, fortunately, over pretty open territory. So, but any farmsteads in there in the Hamilton County area, you need to be seeking shelter. The storm's no threat now for the Wichita area, but down into the area of Texas. We have eastern part of the Texas Panhandle. This storm, that big swirling around that's heading toward the Sweetwater area. But over farther to the east, in a more isolated storm there, let's see, there we come. We have a brand new tornado warning for the Beckham area, Beckham County of Oklahoma. And that storm, being in a little bit more of an individual supercell and a little bit younger, is going off toward the north in the area west and northwest of Carter. It'll go west of Elk City, so heading toward the Sayre area of Beckham County. Taking a look, some of the storms earlier that were tornado warned, we continue to have severe thunderstorm warnings for Custer, Ellis, and Roger Mills counties farther north there in Oklahoma. And thunderstorms beginning to show a little bit of signs of weakening off to the north and west of Abilene there, Fisher and Jones counties with severe thunderstorm warnings. heavy rain in most of the storms then as we go farther east in Texas. A line of storms beginning to move along I-10 south of New Ulm, may ultimately work its way into Houston, keeping a close eye on the storms south and west of Houston. There in the Wharton County area with Matagorda and Wharton County with severe thunderstorm warning on that. You can see that this storm has a bit of a supercell appearance to it. It has some rotation on the south side, not tornado warned, but this is an area where we have what we call a high-level subtropical jet stream way up where the jet aircraft fly that has west winds, whereas the surface winds are coming in from the south and east. So there's some what we call deep layer shear there that's allowing these storms in South Texas to be supercells, even though they're farther away from that cold upper low that I was talking about. And with the very rich southeast flow off the Gulf of Mexico, some of these storms just mulling around are repeating, tracking like on train tracks, training. We're getting flooding. We've had flooding in the Huntsville community, Sam Houston State University. We're getting similar kinds of flooding warnings over toward the West Livingston area. Some of these areas have had over 3 inches of rain in these red shaded areas. And if I take you over into areas from north of Houston, up toward Liberty and over into the Winnie, Port Arthur areas, we have over now a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for the Winnie, Port Arthur area, but a big area here of flash flood warnings, Chambers and Liberty County included, and some of the storms in there. Radar indicates perhaps dropped over 6 inches of rain. That may be a little exaggerated by some hail contamination, but still a turnaround, don't drown in these areas. So this upper low that we've been talking about, it's going to be with us for several days, continuing tonight to give a moisture feed with still up in this Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle area and adjacent areas, an overlap of that cold air aloft over top of the warm, moist air at low levels. So continue to have here and there across the red shaded areas tonight, threat for hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes. And again tomorrow, anywhere from northeast Colorado, southern Nebraska, down into the areas of Texas and Louisiana with that threat for hail, damaging winds, tornadoes, and heavy rain. Tornado condition index tomorrow, central Kansas, northwest Oklahoma, I've given a 3, and also up into northeast Colorado, southwest parts of Nebraska, 3, meaning 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. Watch out for spots, perhaps, of higher quarters of tornadoes like we had today, individual supercells that enhance the threat in local areas that we can't predict that far ahead of time. So at this point, let's go back to the studio, Julie and Alex.
All right, thank you, Dr. Forbes. And, we want to talk about not only tonight, but actually what we're looking at tomorrow night as well, another very active day in terms of severe weather.
Yeah, heading to the weekend.
And into Saturday.
Yeah, as we don't stop it there. We still have it there right across the plains. That 35 corridor, we're going to be watching for some of those storms along Interstate 10 as well, spreading over towards New Orleans, southern Mississippi. Could be in line to deal with these storms, and those could produce damaging winds, hail a threat, and a few isolated tornadoes. Cannot rule that out. Greatest risk as we head into Saturday, south central Kansas, north central Oklahoma. Dr. Forbes giving it a 3 out of 10 here on the Torcon scale, so about a 30% of a tornado within a 50-mile radius there.
And we have a threat still existing on Sunday as well as we take a look at this. Some major cities from New Orleans to Little Rock and St. Louis, so some of the severe risk now getting into the Midwest as well in terms of severe weather, and then thunderstorms stretching all the way into the Carolinas, even the Ohio Valley getting some storms.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get in here and show you again that tornado risk does exist into Sunday as well. Again, we're right in that 3 range. And here we are looking back again into the Texas Panhandle, Wheeler, Texas. And this is, you can see some of the dark clouds showing up here for us. Again, Wheeler has been one of the hot spots here late tonight. You can see some of the lightning flashes as well. I believe, is this Reed Timmer, his vehicle? Kelly Williamson,
yes.
And yeah, again, watching with the view from what he is seeing there with these storms that are rumbling its way through the Panhandle of Texas.
And you'll notice the lightning flashing there. Look at it go. We're getting reports of large hail from this area, flooding as well, street flooding. We saw that earlier from Reed Timmer. And now taking a look at Kelly Williamson's video, it is definitely ominous out there.
Man, this is an area that's currently under a severe thunderstorm warning there. Again, that's for Wheeler County. That includes the city of Wheeler, which we are looking at right now. Dark clouds hanging low, no doubt, and a lot of lightning also with this storm as it's slowly working its way towards the east. We've been also be dealing with some very heavy rain as well.
By the way, this is a town of about 1,600 people, so a relatively rural area.
Be one with it. and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hang up tires.
New Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray outperforms a leading allergy pill. Most allergy pills only control one substance. Flonase controls 6. So go ahead, inhale life. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
There are nearly 4 million miles of road in this country. They lead us home and away to places we love and places that need our love.
Houses are literally obliterated.
That's where you'll find RAM and the First Response Team of America, helping storm survivors.
We've got a lot of equipment in town.
And restoring hope.
Thank you!
Follow the team's journey all this year on the Weather Channel and weather.com. RAM and the First Response Team of America, dedicated to the road to recovery.
I recommend Nature Made vitamins because I trust their quality. They were the first to have a vitamin verified by USP, an independent organization that sets strict quality and purity standards.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended letter vitamin brand.
I'm here to test myself.
This is really pushing my limits.
I'll see you on the other side.
It's the moment of truth right here.
Naked and Afraid, Discovery's groundbreaking hit, returns Sunday at 10.
Look like this, feel like this. Look like this, feel like this. With Dreamwalk insoles, turn shoes that can be a pain into comfortable ones. Their soft cushioning support means you can look like this and feel like this. Dreamwalk.
I take Prilosec OTC each morning for my frequent heartburn, because it gives me zero heartburn.
Prilosec OTC, the #1 doctor-recommended frequent heartburn medicine for 9 straight years. 1 pill each morning, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
It was right on top of us, and then it hit. And we took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
Welcome back as we continue to follow storms rolling through parts of Texas. Here we are looking live now in Wheeler, Texas. This is from Kelly Williamson's what is live picture showing you some of the storms. This is an area that's under a severe thunderstorm warning until 9 o'clock local time.
Really a hotbed of activity here in Wheeler, Texas tonight. We had earlier tornado-warned storms and reports of tornadoes through this area. And there you see some very dangerous-looking weather there. We're going to talk to Kelly, by the way, in just a minute. But right now we want to get to Dr. Greg Forbes. He is tracking all of this severe weather for us. And Dr. Forbes, it is looking a little ominous out there for those folks in Wheeler.
Yeah, it really is. The Wheeler there, what you're seeing was a shelf cloud. That's along some strong outflow, gusty winds coming out away from the thunderstorm. What we've had up in western Kansas, in Hamilton County, there you have it. There's what I'm talking about. That cloud that goes from upper left to lower right. Is what we call a shelf cloud. In behind that, where you're seeing all the lightning, is some heavy rain that is pushing from left to right and pushing up some warmer air upward above it, and that's what's making that cloud. Up in western parts of Kansas, Hamilton County, we've had a brief tornado about 5 miles northwest of Syracuse. Let's go to the radar here. We'll take a look at that. Whenever we're ready to do that. And a tornado has been sighted up here, western parts of Kansas. We also have a tornado warning for Beckham County in Oklahoma. For the moment, we'll go to the storm, give you an update on the storm that's had the tornado with that. We're talking well off there in west parts of Kansas. Just to the north now of Syracuse, Kansas, Hamilton County, it's spinning its way at about 20 miles per hour off toward the north. Looks like it will track now east of the Tribune area. You can see that embedded in that, it has some pretty strong rotation in its southeast quadrant, and so that's going to take it up toward the Whitelock area at the rate it's going at about 755. Here's the high resolution radar, and you can see there the whole storm with a little arm coming in here, arm coming in there, and the rotation right about in there. I'll show you the rotation that we're getting, and pretty strong rotation showing up going northbound, going southbound, the tornado signature right about in there. It's pretty far from the radar. We do have a little bit of a speck of possibly some debris in there that have been picked up by the tornado. So tornado warning there for Hamilton County heading northbound. Stay in safe places if you're there. Let's go back now to the studio.
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Forbes. Meanwhile, we continue to follow those storms there in the panhandle of Texas. We got some pictures, live pictures coming in from storm chaser Kelly Williamson, who is parked right now dealing with those storms. And there it is right now. You can see this is again in Wheeler, Texas, an area where those lightning strikes are flashing in an area that is currently underneath a severe thunderstorm warning.
And Dr. Forbes noted that large shelf cloud there. You can see a tremendous amount of lightning coming out as well. We're going to talk with Kelly Williamson now. Kelly, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Describe what you're seeing and what it's like being that close to this particular storm.
Well, these have been kind of ominous clouds all day. They've changed real fast. You know, that's one thing I'm really not too used to. They're changing so fast. They just kind of blow up, and then the one south of it blows up, and they just kind of bounce around, and it's kind of really hard to stay on them.
I'm sure it's difficult to chase in these kinds of conditions because you really don't know from 1 minute to the next what you're looking at here or what you're going to be dealing with.
Yes, and especially like right now, starting to get dark, it's a little bit harder to see. You just kind of have to back off just a little bit farther from them. But there's been a lot of hail, and I had one tornado earlier today in a field and just touched down for just a little bit and then dissipated.
That's what we like to see, them in the field, open fields, and then very brief. But Kelly, can you give us, you talked about the hail, any size hail? What type of size hail were you dealing with?
Oh, I think we've seen some 1.5 inch hail is about all I've seen. I think there's been a little bit larger hail, but I've kind of tried to stay out of it.
And what does it feel like outdoors there? Is it cool? Do you feel the cool air?
Yes, it's pretty cool. It's 65 degrees right now, and it was a lot warmer than that today. It just kind of gets hot, and then it gets cold as the thunderstorms kind of rise and lower.
Yeah, you get those cool outflow winds as well, driving in as well. What about the rainfall? These storms seem to be now kind of pooling over the same areas. Any reports or any visual evidence of flooding?
I've been staying in front of the storms. I've not seen any reports of flooding, but there has to be some as slow as they're moving. They're moving pretty slow, so I've been in front of them. I haven't been behind to see what they've been leaving.
And Kelly, describe that area. It looks to be a relatively rural area.
Yes, there's not many houses out here. There's a few farms, but it's pretty, just slightly hilly, and mainly grassland, farmlands, cattle, and the towns aren't very big, so hopefully it won't get any of them.
That's good to hear.
Well, Kelly Williamson, certainly we appreciate it there. Checking in on those live pictures again. That is in Wheeler, Texas, an area still currently under a severe thunderstorm warning.
And that was an amazing shelf cloud, that live picture. And we want to turn to Dr. Forbes now because we're also seeing a lot of lightning coming out of that particular cell. But I thought it was interesting, Dr. Forbes, that Kelly mentioned these storms just bouncing around.
Well, there has been quite a few storms interacting up in that area, but what I wanted to report is that in Beckham County, Oklahoma, near Sayre now, we have a stovepipe tornado being reported, and a brand new tornado warning north of in Kansas there, north of Hamilton County, now moving into Greeley County. So after the break here, we'll give you an update on all of these storms, particularly the tornado warnings.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, skies clearing overnight. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 73. Friday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 89. Chance of rain 90%. Friday night, thunderstorms early. Low 73. Chance of rain 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's not Kevin. Spring? Well, flowers are for girls. Come I'm gonna go check on the flowers.
Thought flowers were for girls.
Yeah, they are.
Take on the joys of spring with low prices you can trust every day at Walmart.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and go up to 50 miles.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up?
Yep.
We could rule the world. But I've got carpool at 3, though, so
that time
we could, mess with the world.
I take these out to put in Dr. Scholl's Active Series insoles. They help reduce wear and tear on my legs because they have triple zone protection and reduce shock by 40%. So I feel like I'm ready to take on anything.
Some things are not what they appear to be. Other things are exactly what they appear to be. The 306 horsepower Lexus IS 350, as aggressive as it looks.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Sorry.
This is more than a lawn. This is a True Green lawn. Live life outside with True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green, live life outside.
I had a love-hate relationship with my weight. Dieting, I hate that word. For me, counting calories doesn't work. Weighing in doesn't work. And not eating the foods that I love, that never works. I needed a plan that was simple and tasted great. And the plan that worked for me, Nutrisystem.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus kit. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist or your money back, guaranteed.
Nutrisystem gives you exactly what you need. And I lost 40 pounds. My energy is back, and I can't stop smiling about it.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of specially selected meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes to rev your metabolism, free. And 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes to crush those cravings, free.
If you really want to lose weight, you need a plan that works. No starving, no suffering. You need Nutrisystem.
Call 877-811-THIN right now and get Fast 5 Plus with shakes free.
And we've had tornadoes reported recently in western parts of Kansas, also western parts of Oklahoma. At the moment, it appears that they have lifted, but still additional tornadoes could develop. I'm severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes. Tornado warnings still in effect. You'll see those here. I'll draw big red areas. The red outlined area in there is a tornado warning for western Oklahoma. There's also a tornado warning for western parts of Kansas, and we'll focus in on those. We'll start with the western Kansas storm in particular. Had a tornado that lifted briefly. It's all by itself there. Nothing else severe at this point in the entire state of Kansas, except for this storm. It's pretty close to the upper low and right at the west edge of where the warm, moist, unstable air is, coming out of Hamilton County, where there's been a tornado, into Greeley County. You can kind of see it spinning like a top as the whole storm basically is rotating. It's not a very big storm. It's a little bit in dry air. It's about as dry as you can get and still have severe thunderstorms. So tracking this, it should go to the Whitelaw area about 8:02, the Selkirk area if it continues about 9:14. Taking a look here at the high definition radar, has a wing of the storm comes in here, a little bit of a wing comes in there, and it is broadly rotating. So this is the kind of thing that if you just looked at the configuration of the rainfall, you might not know where the rotation is. You look at the velocities though, and you see this area, a very broad area of northbound, this broad area of southbound. That's why the whole storm is rotating right where the two touch. Let's see if we have any debris signatures showing up in there. Certainly a lowered area. This has rain in it. Certainly some lowering as opposed to when it's rainfall, it's this red and purple. So this area in here, let's go back to the normal way of seeing things. This little indented area. We've had reports of a tornado in here. It could be a rain-wrapped tornado heading up toward this Whitelaw area. So a dangerous situation there. Up in the Texas Panhandle, we've been watching a storm gust out with a shelf cloud on that, or east of Wheeler over across the Oklahoma border here. It's more of an individual supercell thunderstorm heading northbound across Beckham County. There has been a stovepipe tornado reported with this tornado that has been apparently lifted as far as I can tell. The tornado threat here moving almost northbound, just slightly east of north toward the New Liberty, the Berlin, and the Herring areas of northwest Oklahoma. So dangerous storms in a couple of locations. We'll continue to keep you updated on that. For the moment, let's go back to the studio. Julie and Alex, and they'll have more information.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Forbes. No doubt these storms continue to rumble out there. We've had some live pictures as well showing up in and out of Texas, including here in Wheeler. This from storm chaser Kelly Williamson. We just talked to him, and he's on this storm that is in Wheeler, and that continues to be severe thunderstorm warned. So that is out until about 9 o'clock local time. So we still have more than a half an hour to deal with this in Wheeler County and the city of Wheeler. He had issues there with heard some golf ball size hail, as well as ping pong in some of these storms as well. We saw a pretty nice shelf cloud associated with the storm as well.
Yeah, you're looking at it. Look at the lightning coming out of it right now. He also told us he did see one tornado in an open field. And 1.5 inches hail.
Yeah, so yeah, big hail, potential tornadoes here with some of these storms right now. No tornado warning there in Wheeler, but a severe thunderstorm warning is in place. No doubt about it, a lot of lightning associated with this storm. Heavy rain and hail and damaging winds going to be the main threat with this particular storm at the moment.
All right, we also have some new video into us, a tornado in Pampa, Texas. This video just in, and you can actually see the rotation right there in the middle of your screen. Take a look at that.
Yeah, it's kicking
again
up some
in
of
an
that
open
dust,
field, which is where we like to see the tornadoes. So fortunately in a relatively rural area here, but you can certainly see the rotation on this, and it appears to be sizable as well.
Yeah, one of those things where tough to see the actual whole cloud making its way down to the ground, but it's kicking up that dust, and that's how you know it is a tornado as opposed to just a funnel cloud.
Yeah, making contact there with the ground. We also have some video of hail coming in. This is courtesy, by the way, of the NWS Amarillo office. Just take a listen to this as it hits the pavement. Looks to be about golf ball sized hail to me.
Definitely see it bouncing up and down there in the grass. And again, that's been one of the things with these storms, not just the heavy rain, but big time hail. I've seen reports of golf ball size hail, hen size hail as well. So again, that's been one of the stories with these storms. And again, we take you live now to Wheeler, Texas. Storm chaser Kelly Williamson, his view of the storm there, which continues to have a severe thunderstorm warning.
Now at Boston Market, new slow-braised pulled pork. So tender, it falls apart. Topped with zesty barbecue or garlic citrus sauce. A bold new taste from the slow roasting experts at Boston Market.
6 smoky hours, one tasty dish. Slow-braised pulled pork, now at Boston Market.
Your eyes really are unique.
In fact, they depend on a unique set of nutrients. That's why there's Ocuvite, to help protect your eye health.
As you age, your eyes can lose vital nutrients. Ocuvite helps replenish key eye nutrients. Ocuvite is a vitamin made just for your eyes from the eye care experts at Bausch & Lomb. Ocuvite has a unique formula that's just not found in any leading multivitamin.
Your eyes are unique.
So help protect your eye health with Ocuvite.
The open road. It takes on many forms. From the scenic highways to the rugged trails. From the sand-covered to the well-traveled. They lead us to the beauty of nature and the beauty of simple pleasures. The open road is alive and well and waiting to take us to Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The termite swarm has come. Enter the legions of Terminix with 85 years of experience and the strongest guarantee in the business. Sorry, termites, we got a swarm of our own. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
To you, they're more than just a pet, so protect them with Canine Advantix 2. Its broad spectrum protection kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes too. Canine Advantix 2, for the love of dog.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares come
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru.
The Subaru XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
There are perfect complements. The sun to our moon. The stars to our stripes. Some things just go together. That's why at Petco, we choose like-minded partners like Instinct Raw Boost, the first pet food to combine high-protein, grain-free kibble and protein-packed, freeze-dried raw bites for health and vitality you can see. Because when we feed them better, our companions thrive. Petco. What we feed them matters.
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain. It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do? Drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
With Liberty Mutual new car replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back as we take you live now to Wheeler, Texas. This is from storm chaser Kelly Williamson. His view of the storms here. We've been following this all evening long. Wheeler, one of the spots that's been dealing with these storms right now. Severe thunderstorm warning that's still in place there for you for the county of Wheeler and the city of Wheeler as well. That's out until 9 o'clock. It's getting dark now, but as those lightning flashes take place, you can see the clouds very low hanging there for us. We've been dealing with a bit of a shelf cloud with this storm as it's moving its way now on off towards the east pretty slowly.
Yeah, Wheeler, by the way, about an hour east of Amarillo, Texas, right along I-40, and it's really been a hotbed of activity all night long. Earlier we had a tornado-warned storm, well, a couple of them actually in the Wheeler area, and now we're just dealing with that tremendous lighting. It's gotten dark out there as well, so it really gives you a good visual on that shelf cloud and the lightning just filling the sky. Fortunately, this is a relatively rural area, but nonetheless, a lot of hail reported with this, and you can imagine there's probably a lot of rain as well.
Yeah, slow movement with it, and again, it hasn't moved a whole lot here, this particular storm, over the last, hour or so here for us, so that would, I would imagine, be a concern as well.
Another area we're watching is the Sam Houston State University area. This is in Huntsville, Texas. On the phone right now, Julia May. She is with the university. And Julia, we understand that you're experiencing some flooding issues there tonight.
We are. We took on quite a bit of water earlier this afternoon in a heavy thunderstorm, and the weight of the water caused a glass wall in our recreational sports center facility to cave in and fill the lower part with about 14 to 16 inches of water.
Wow.
Now, Julie, were there any students in the rec center at that point?
Yes, our rec center had students, faculty, staff. It was a normal activity, and fortunately, we had no injuries with this.
How did everyone get out?
Where the water came in, you can still come upstairs to the main level, and so they evacuated through that way.
Wow, what a mess. Look at that. We were getting some pictures in now, Julia, just to give us an idea of what you are dealing with there tonight. How is the situation now? Have things settled down a bit?
Oh yes, it's not raining right now. It's considerably quieter. We are assessing the situation and involved with cleanup, and this part of the building will be closed until further notice as we make repairs.
Now, you mentioned that and talked about that building. Any other areas around campus that sustained any flooding issues?
We're hearing that several buildings did take in water either through flooding or through leaks, but that our initial determination is that there is no major damage to any other buildings. That the recreational sports center is the one that was hit the hardest.
Well, we're glad that everyone is okay. Now, was this a short-term event, a relatively quick event, I should say, or did this rain last over several hours for you?
No, actually, it was quite quick. It had been sunny most of the day. It got cloudy toward the end of the day. It got very, very dark, very windy. The rain came, and it was just, just a matter of an hour or so that it happened.
The definition of flash flooding there
Exactly.
happens in a flash. But again, we're glad to hear that no students were harmed and any faculty members as well. Everyone seems to be okay. Just a matter now of cleanup at this point.
What a mess. All right. Thank you so much. We want to get now to Dr. Greg Forbes. He's tracking the latest severe weather for us. And right now, Dr. Forbes, looks like some of those warnings are in Kansas.
Yeah, we have one tornado warning now in western parts of Kansas. The one in Oklahoma has been allowed to expire. We've had tennis ball size hail. Previously did have a tornado. By my count, I think we've had now 10 reports of tornadoes today in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. The one tornado warning at the moment is here in far western parts of Kansas. We're in talking about Greeley County in Kansas, and it's heading toward the Selkirk area. It really is the only warning that's in the state of Kansas. We have, though, a column of rain here that is moving into the area east of Dodge City, west of the Hutchinson area, so be aware that there could be some ponding on the roadways if you're heading into those regions. Here's the situation. Greeley County, you have a tornado warning that is slowly moving its way north. It should stay east of the Tribune area. It's had reports of tennis ball size hail, and here's where the projected track is. Fairly rural. The Selkirk area, about 912, would be the biggest community in its path. It's quite a storm, though. Well-defined hook echo. Tennis ball size hail has been reported here. That's the main body of the storm heading that way. Then you see the inflow notch coming in here over into the Oklahoma area. We continue to see these storms that have swirled their way east of Wheeler, Texas, over into the Sweetwater area. The tornado warning is expiring here at the bottom of the hour for that. A brand new tornado warning now for Roger Mills County in the area just to the north and east of Sweetwater. So I'll slide back if I can and catch that one. We're talking about the tornado warning that's for Roger Mills County there, area north of Sweetwater and south of Radon, the area west of the Cheyenne area. So tornado warned storm there. The previously tornado warned storm, an individual storm north of Sayre, would be heading up toward Berlin and Herring should it begin to get some additional rotation. And down into the Texas area, as I kind of anticipated, the line of storms firing its way up there east of along I-10 heading south of the new Ulm has now gone severe warned, as well as has a storm down around the Wharton area. So we have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Austin, Colorado, and Wharton counties. And then a separate storm farther down to the south in Wharton County that I've been watching for some time. That one is a supercell thunderstorm as opposed to a line of storms heading toward the Damon area across parts of Wharton, Matagorda, and Brazoria counties. As we head farther to the east, it becomes more and more heavy rain. The worst of the rain is over in Huntsville, where you heard about the Sam Houston State University having damage. But there's flooding and flash flood warnings in Hardin and Tyler counties and quite a few additional counties there, including as we go down into Chambers and Liberty counties along Highway 90 now. And that has moved out of the Baytown area, moved out of the I-10 area at this point. Some heavy rain over near the Port Arthur area. And some of these areas have had over, in the Lavender, estimated by radar to have had over 5 inches of rain. So turn around, don't drown if you come to any flooded roadways in these areas. Had been a severe thunderstorm warning on this storm coming through the Port Arthur area. It's about to move over into the Louisiana area. Strong winds, possibly some hail coming toward the Lake Charles area. So that is all courtesy of this big spinning upper low. It's cold pocket aloft, and the east side of that is encountering where we're getting the worst of the severe weather, and many of the tornado warnings are in this Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas area that is getting the cold air running over top of the warm, increasingly moist southeast flow. We have this evening. We'll have it again tomorrow afternoon and evening as this upper low is not moving very fast at all. So keep tuned to the Weather Channel for all of that. Let's go back now to the studio and Alex and Julie.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Forbes. A lot happening tonight, and this is just day one. We have another round coming tomorrow as well.
Yeah, we're going to be watching things very, very closely. Still dealing with the storms, though, today, and there's actually a new tornado watch that is in effect, and this actually includes the Houston metro area until midnight. So, again, tornado watch there, including the Houston metro until midnight. Conditions favorable within this area for storms that could produce tornadoes.
This was just issued, and obviously a hugely populated area, so we're going to keep a careful eye on this for you again until midnight tonight. A tornado watch here now for Houston and the surrounding areas.
It took James Dyson 5,000 prototypes to invent the bagless vacuum, and another 10,000 to invent the only vacuum that doesn't lose suction, thanks to patented sonic tips. Everything else is history. Search Kinetic now.
I know, I used 3 strips of tape. Gorilla Packaging Tape. Of course.
Gorilla Packaging Tape is 2 times thicker and 50% wider to hold with just 1 strip for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
The Fiat 500 isn't alone anymore. It's part of a big Italian family.
Oh, this audit will take days. What a headache.
Actually, I don't have a headache anymore. Excedrin really does work fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
Be one with it, and it will be one with you. Be one with your tires, and the road will be one with you. Hang up tires.
If you're an adult with type 2 diabetes and your A1C is not at goal with certain diabetes pills or daily insulin, your doctor may be talking about adding medication to help lower your A1C. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Once-a-week Tanzium is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, along with diet and exercise. Once-a-week Tanzium works by helping your body release its own natural insulin when it's needed. Tanzium is not recommended as the first medicine to treat diabetes or in people with severe stomach or intestinal problems. Tanzium is not insulin. It is not used to treat type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis and has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Do not take Tanzium if you or your family have a history of medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Tanzium or any of its ingredients. Stop using Tanzium and call your doctor right away if you experience symptoms of an allergic reaction, which may include itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. If you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe stomach pain that will not go away and may move to your back, with or without vomiting. Or if you have symptoms of thyroid cancer, which include a lump or swelling in your neck, hoarseness, trouble swallowing, or shortness of breath. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medicines you're taking, and if you're nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Taking Tanzium with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects with Tanzium include diarrhea, nausea, injection site reactions, cough, back pain, and cold or flu symptoms. Some serious side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney failure. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Go to Tanzium.com to learn if you may be eligible to receive Tanzium free for 12 months. Make every week a Tanzium week.
What are you doing?
Athlete's foot.
Athlete's foot can be embarrassing. Lotrimin Ultra relieves the itching, burning, and cracking to cure athlete's foot and embarrassment too.
Ooh.
Get Ultra. Lotrimin Ultra.
Whatever their stickers say, they'll all lose suction because their filters clog. But with our sonic tips oscillating at 5,000 Hertz, only new Dyson Kinetic Science won't lose suction.
So much food is going to waste. The scale is pretty shocking.
It goes straight in the garbage. We're wasting 40% of our food. My question, how much of it is still good and can I eat it?
The challenge, to survive for 6 months only on food destined for the dumpster.
Do I have to go dumpster diving on my lunch break?
I'm starting to enjoy this.
And following the film, join Tom Colicchio to learn how together we can stop the waste. Just Eat It, Wednesday at 10 on MSNBC.
Welcome back as we continue to provide our special coverage now of the severe weather outbreak in Texas and the Southern Plains. We do have a new tornado watch to tell you about. This now issued until 12 a.m. This goes for Houston, Freeport, Galveston, Beaumont, up toward Huntsville. So a hugely populated area here right along I-10. Again, this goes until 12 o'clock this evening. We also Have some new live pictures in this evening. These are coming in from storm chaser Kelly Williamson. He has now moved into Durham, Oklahoma. He was earlier in Texas following a pretty strong storm there in Wheeler, Texas, and a shelf cloud, Alex. And with a tremendous amount of lightning, it's hard to see what he's looking at now, but certainly these storms are pushing off in that direction.
Yeah, dark skies there for us at the moment, but every now and then you get some of those lightning flashes and you can see sort of the clouds that are hanging pretty low there. So yeah, that's the situation in the panhandle of Texas and working into Oklahoma as well. Welcome back again, extending our coverage here as we follow some of these strong and severe storms through the southern plains and down into Texas. We want to recap exactly what has happened here during this evening and through tonight, and some video coming in from the Pampa area in Texas. And this video here, you can see showing up there some of the rotation here as the dust begins to sort of swirl and get picked up here by the tornado. Tough to see the actual funnel making it all the way to the ground, but the indication in how you know it's a tornado is because you see that swirling dust there that is at the ground.
Yeah, pretty impressive, and there you can definitely see the color difference as it's picking up the dirt, fortunately in a wide open area, and that's where we like to see these things. Not always the case.
Then we head to Perryton. This is an area that also saw some of the showers and storms, and while this is actually a land spout in the panhandle of Texas near the Oklahoma border, and no doubt about it, you see again swirling and kicking around up some of that dust as well. But in this situation, the funnel cloud really starts to dissipate very, very quickly here, at least the swirling dust dissipating very quickly, which is indicative of a land spout and what we know as a dust devil. Then in Sam Houston State University, this was an area that saw some heavy rain. That was another issue with some of these storms, not just the severe threat with a hail as well as the tornado risk, but also the very heavy rain. And these are some of the pictures coming in out of Sam Houston State University. Got a chance to talk to the public information officer there earlier, Julia May, talking about some of the issues there with flooding around campus, including the rec center. And that's what you're seeing there, some of the flooding issues there. The good news is all the students, they made it out without any sort of serious incidents, and everyone is okay. But yeah, just goes to show you these storms, as they slowed down, dumped quite a bit of heavy rain there. Again, this is in the Sam Houston State University, north of Houston.
And she actually said a glass wall caved in the rec center, and all of the students and faculty that were in there were able to crawl up the stairs and get out without getting hurt.
Quick thinking there.
Pretty amazing.
And then in Bryan, Texas, again, another more evidence here of flooding. This is at Park Hudson Trail in Bryan from Ian Smith with KAGS. And again, it looks like a bit of sign showing up there, and that sign should not be covered with the water there. You should be able to see the ground.
This trail looks like a river. Really does. All right, we have a new picture also coming into us from Texas.
And we move into tomorrow, actually, let's talk about what's going on as we move into the end of the week, because we are going to be watching this threat extend into our Friday. And there it is, southern plains down into Texas and along the Gulf Coast. Anywhere in that red, orangish color, that's where you're going to be dealing with that severe risk. Tornado risk will be there as well. And we included central Kansas and northwest Oklahoma. There's a 3 out of 10 on the Torcon scale. Same for you in northeastern Colorado and southwestern Nebraska. So we're right in that 30% range of dealing with a tornado within a 50-mile radius. And again, there's your Saturday storm threat extending now into parts of the lower Mississippi Valley. Thunderstorm threat extending all across the south, but the main risk will be in those red shaded areas. Again, a 3 out of 10, south central Kansas, north central portions of Oklahoma. So some of the same areas going to be having to deal with that tornado risk heading into the weekend.
Right, and with the same timing as well. And then Sunday, take a look at this. A severe threat actually extends up into the Midwest from St. Louis into Paducah, the Mid-South as well, Little Rock in line, as well as the Deep South in Birmingham. We could see some very strong storms there. So our Torcon index here looks like western Tennessee and northern Mississippi, a 3. Again, about a 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles.
So active times here for us over the next several days. I mean, it's already been quite active over the last several days. We've been following a lot of the heavy rain and showers and storms that have flared up across the southern tier of the country. Severe storms here and there, but now things becoming a little bit more active with the severe threat along with the flood threat out there as well.
Let's check out some of our new video we have coming in now from Kelly Williamson. He's a storm chaser who's been out there all night. He was in Texas, in Wheeler, and now he's been following this storm into Durham, Oklahoma. And there you can see just a tremendous amount of lightning really lighting up the sky. He described that this is a pretty wide open area. So that is good because that means certainly not a lot of damage or population, but not a lot of buildings probably to get damaged, I should say. But we do have some storm reports to get to because we have seen some damage with these strong storms we've been tracking.
And numerous reports coming in there, again, from the panhandle of Texas, working its way to Oklahoma, all across Texas, in fact, and you name it. We're talking everything from tornadoes, including here and around the Refugio area. Hopefully I pronounced that right, but it was a brief rain-wrapped tornado spotted there. Ostwell, single tornado, Syracuse, so you get it, the picture here. A lot of these briefly touching down out there for us, but no doubt about it, dangerous situation. Groom, another area, as we work our way into the panhandle. A brief tornado was reported there near Highway 70.
All right, well, we are tracking those strong storms tonight, the threat of tornadoes, and that means the threat of hail, damaging winds, tornadoes, everything all in a mixed bag. So we asked, do you know what to do if your home falls under a tornado warning?
You're standing on your back porch when you see a terrifying specter taking shape in the clouds.
Look at the flying! Get in the house!
Hypnotized by its awesome power, you watch as the ominous funnel chews through neighborhood homes.
It's coming toward us! Go! Read that door so I can get in!
Snap out of it.
Oh my God!
This tornado is coming straight at you. How would you survive this violent twister? Should you, A, keep watching the tornado to track where it's going? B, open all doors and windows to balance the internal and external air pressure? Or C, take cover in the basement to avoid flying debris?
I'm here to test myself.
This is really pushing my limits.
I'll see you on the other side.
It's the moment of truth right here.
Naked and Afraid, Discovery's groundbreaking hit, returns Sunday at 10.
You could sit at your computer and read all about zero-turn mowers. Click, scroll, tweet, or you could just sit on a John Deere Z435 Easy Track and feel its power. You'll know it'll get the job done fast. When it's time to pick a mower, you've got to get on one. Visit your local John Deere dealer for a test drive today. Sign up to take your turn on a Z435 and save $100 on your purchase. Nothing runs like a Deere.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Sorry.
Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green. Live life outside.
Are you sending your kids to school with an allergy medicine that may make them drowsy? Only Children's Claritin provides non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief.
And it's the #1 pediatrician-recommended non-drowsy brand.
In class and out, your kids can live Claritin Clear.
It's the Suit and Tie event now at Men's Warehouse. Select suits are on sale for $199.99. All ties, 3 for $75. Plus, buy one, get one free on even more. Only at Men's Warehouse.
We could tell you about the years of research and development. How we forged advanced high-strength steel to make the frame stronger yet lighter. The countless hours spent testing the suspension and tuning every sound from the engine to the trunk. But until you get behind the wheel, you have no idea. The completely redesigned Hyundai Sonata.
Life changes. A small business's life is no different. That's why Constant Contact email marketing is built to evolve with your business, month to month, year to year. So whether it's an email to reach new fans and customers, or a quick and easy way to announce a big sale, Constant Contact's email marketing and free expert coaching are all you'll need, no matter how much things change. Help your small business do more business. Try email marketing free at ConstantContact.com.
Everything has been building towards this moment. Who will melt under the pressure? 16 teams, one champion. The Stanley Cup Playoffs on the networks of NBC Universal.
If you're not happy with how your allergy medicine treats your congestion, rethink relief with Nasacort Allergy 24-Hour. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your symptoms, Nasacort stops more, relieving the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion, for 24 hours. It's non-addictive and has no harsh taste, and unlike Flonase, it's scent and alcohol-free. And it's available over-the-counter at full prescription strength. Rethink your relief with Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable.
If you've been shopping for a new car lately, you probably noticed something. Dealers love marking up their prices. Here at Beth Smith Kia, we don't play those kind of games. You'll always get a great deal without any phony markups. In fact, we'll give you up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book value for your trade and free tires and batteries for life. Think about it. No price markups, more for your trade, and free tires and batteries for life. Why would you shop anywhere else? Hurry to Beth Smith Kia.
The tornado is nearly on top of your house. So what should you do next? If you chose C, seek shelter in a basement, you'd be giving yourself the best odds of survival.
The goal is to seek a place where you're not going to be directly hit by debris.
If you don't have a basement, the best thing you can do is to get to an interior closet or bathroom that has plumbing to anchor down the house.
Getting in a bathtub and putting a mattress over your head is a reasonable strategy. Getting under a piece of strong furniture, getting some pillows and blankets and wrapping them around yourself or children. Anything you can do to armor yourself is going to increase your chances of survival.
Some good advice there. It's also good to protect your head. If you have a kid's bike helmet, that's a good thing to bring with you, and grab your shoes, because if you're going outdoors after the tornado, you don't want to injure yourself even more, which happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, you hear a lot of those reports within the aftermath with glass and all the debris out there. People don't think about the shoes, but a lot of injuries occur after the tornado hits.
That's right. Let's get to Dr. Greg Forbes now. He's tracking all the severe weather for us this evening. Dr. Forbes?
Yeah, still 2 tornado warnings, western parts of Oklahoma, western parts of Kansas. We've had about 10 reports of tornadoes today in that Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Panhandle, and Southeast Texas areas. And so that threat does continue. We've also had a lot of hail reports. You see, most of these blue circles are reports of hail. There's been some wind included in that. And a couple of tornado warnings, west parts of Kansas, west parts of Oklahoma, a lot of flash flood warnings, and still in a brand new tornado watch area, a few severe thunderstorm warnings down in southeast parts of Texas. So here's the tornado warning storm. It's up south and west of Scott City there in West Kansas. That's the only warning in the state of Kansas. Tornado warning there for Greeley and Wichita counties. That's moving a little bit east and north at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Coming towards Selkirk at about 9:13. Has some pretty strong rotation in that. Also some hail that could be golf ball size or larger. It's had tennis ball size hail at times, but seems to be shrinking a little bit in size. The rotation getting a little broader. You see the greens northbound, the reds southbound, not touching themselves, so still a broad rotation, maybe weakening just slightly in terms of its tornado type of intensity. We've had big cluster thunderstorms that's moved out of the Wheeler, Texas area into the Sweetwater area of Oklahoma. There's been a funnel cloud with that possible tornado moving across Roger Mills County. That one heading more or less toward the east, toward Dempsey, Cheyenne, and the Strong City areas in the times you see there in the white box area. And then severe thunderstorms marching their way toward the Houston area along I-10, Austin, Colorado, Wharton counties included in that severe thunderstorm warning, as well as another that's farther down to the south and east will head toward the League City area. Cannot totally rule out a tornado with one of those. Mostly looks like hail, damaging winds, and more rain moving into the same areas where we already have east of the Houston area a lot of flash flood warnings. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, thanks so much, Dr. Forbes. We certainly appreciate it.
And here's what we've seen so far tonight. Hail. We've seen large hail up to golf ball size. Video coming into us from Amarillo, courtesy of the National Weather Service.
A tornado in Pampa, Texas. You can clearly see it there, rotating there. Just one of several tornadoes reported tonight.
And Pampa has also seen rain and hail. These hailstones look to be about golf ball sized as well.
And the storms in the Houston area. You can see some of the ominous sky showing up there over this Houston sky Island. That's an area that is under a tornado watch.
Until midnight. We'll continue to follow this severe weather throughout the evening. We will break into programming as needed.
We got Dr. Forbes. He's going to be back with an update in just moments. But first, we're going to take it over to Raging Nature. That starts next.
Night.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, thunderstorms likely, low 73. Chance of rain, 80%. Friday, thunderstorms, high 89. Chance of rain, 90%. Friday night, scattered thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 50%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
They're one of nature's most terrifying disasters, responsible for thousands of deaths each year.
I could tell it was picking up speed. It was coming faster and faster and faster. I was scared.
This is a big sucker. Camera location is not safe.
Some of the most unforgettable landslides ever caught on tape.
It's the biggest landslide in historic times. It's huge.
Their stories told by those who survived them.
The entire hillside just slid down. If we had hung out there, we'd have been crushed.
Now, state-of-the-art forensic animation shows you what the video does not. The awesome power of Raging Nature. The Philippines, 2000.
We still have dangerous storms out there. I'm severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes. Tornado watch is still in effect for the areas of eastern Texas Panhandle, western Oklahoma, as well as a brand new one goes until midnight for the Houston area, and severe thunderstorm warnings in gold for parts of Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. We've had about 10 reports of tornadoes in Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and down in southeastern parts of Texas today, and a lot of reports of hail, some of that up to 3 inches in diameter. So it has been a very busy day. Tornado warnings are spotty at this point. Western Kansas, western parts of Oklahoma, a lot of flash flood warnings in southeast Texas, and still a few severe thunderstorm warnings perhaps heading toward the Houston area. Taking a look up here in western Kansas, it's the only warning in the state of Kansas, but it has a tornado warning on that. Earlier, it had a tornado, also has had some tennis ball size hail. We're talking about Greeley and Wichita, Kansas. Should be heading to the area east of Tribune. It's almost going due north, but it could get very close to Selkirk, Kansas in about 10 minutes or so, about 9:13. Have had a number of storms rolling across the eastern Texas Panhandle. Flash flood warnings, in effect there now. But over into western Oklahoma, Roger Mills County, we have a storm that has had a funnel cloud on the leading edge of this line of storms, and it's slowly moving its way east toward the Cheyenne and the Dempsey areas. At the times you see there, 9:14, 9:23, 9:33, if it continues to have that tornado threat. Jumping down then along the I-10 area, severe thunderstorms rolling along eastbound at about 30 miles per hour. Right now they're in Austin, Colorado, and Wharton counties, but if they continue to hold together, they could move into the Houston area. Houston area right downtown about 10:32, and you see them coming from the west into the Katy area about 9:39. Damaging winds and perhaps some 1-inch hail are the main threats from this. Far to the south and east areas east of Houston, heavy rain has led to a lot of possibilities of flooding. Flash flood warnings are in effect there. Remember the adage, turn around, don't drown. We'll continue to give you additional updates through the evening. Now return you to your programming. Stay safe.
I've never really experienced anything like that before.
Go, 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 this car! In February of 1996, contractor Bob Holman and his son Starson witnessed and recorded a unique landslide in an upscale residential neighborhood in As a contractor, Bob Holman knew what heavy rains could do to homes on a hillside, which is why he and his son Starson braved the elements to check on one of his projects.
We are going up Hermosa, up to the remodel that's sliding down the hill. Man, they better hope they got a good foundation underneath those babies. I had been working on a house that was right up in that area that was built on a very steep slope. And after about 5-6 days of very heavy